First of all, to our seniors, certainly we had quite a few of them. As I told them in the locker room, I really appreciate everything that they've done for our university, the way they've represented themselves, the way they represented their family and their school. So hats off to them. We made a run at the end, and it wouldn't have happened without the seniors, without a group of young men who bought in and who stayed in there and just figured out a way to keep coming, and they did it, and we played pretty well down the stretch to the game. I thought Buffalo played the game extremely well. It was very evident that, they were going to take the game on and be aggressive off the bounce, and they're extremely athletic and quick when they do it, and very good. And quite frankly, they beat us really in all phases of the game. When you look at the numbers, the way they shot the ball from the field, the way they shot it from three, they out-rebounded us. I thought they played a complete game, and we were never, ever able to overcome their start in the second half. Once they stretched it, we could never get it back down. I think when you take a look at the score in the first half, we were down by 6, and quite frankly, we had not played well, which you have to attribute a lot of that to them. That can also be a good thing in that we're heading out in the second half, had not played very well, but yet and still we were still in the game. But we just didn't have it tonight. I thought our energy was there, but we just didn't make the plays tonight, and a lot of that goes towards Buffalo. They were obviously ready to go after we beat them about a week ago. They made some adjustments to the things they were doing, and they took the game on, and so therefore we just came up short.
Just talk to the players a little bit. Talk about the end of your season and not the end today, but your end run and how much you got out of that and what maybe you can take into next season with that. Eric, I know Eric, you graduating, but Eric, Dion.
I just feel like we have a lot of weapons coming in from our sophomores. Obviously, our senior class of 8 people brought a lot to the table, but towards the end of the end stretch of the season, Haruna stepped up, Rod started stepping up. We had multiple players started stepping up, so I feel like you guys kind of got a feel of what we still have to offer. Sadly enough, it came to an end today, but I feel like we can come back next year and be very strong. Also with the assets that we have coming in, our freshmen, I'm happy with what we have next year. So.
Coach, can you kind of speak to that too? Just do you what you're looking at with what you got out of the end of this season that gives you something to build on going forward?
Well, I think any kind of sports you look at, confidence is obviously paramount, and what you saw was a group of young men who came together and started playing with confidence, and more importantly, they believed in each other. And when you start having that, it's amazing what can happen. Special things, in fact, typically happen. So I think when you take a look at the young guys that are coming back, the sophomore class, and then obviously we've got Zach McCormick, who's out for the year. We've got Logan McLean, who's injured. Those two guys, to be able to go through this is a good thing for them. Last year we weren't able to get here into Cleveland, and so I think this is something that you build off of. Once you get up here and you get to experience the environment, it's in the air. You can feel it, and what it feels like when you walk out there on that court to play the game. There's certainly butterflies in your stomach. If they're not there, then something's wrong with you. But those are things that I think, you take into the summer, and you strive to make sure you get back. But not only to get back, but to be successful and to be competitive and win some games here. And so the returning group, we've got a lot of work ahead of us. It's certainly not going to be easy. But I also think they learned what can happen if, you're not playing the game well, particularly in this league. You can go through some tough times. And so we've got to be able to be mature next year. We've got to understand why, how, what went on, and make sure we avoid those same pitfalls.
This for Eric and Coach Cooper. I mean, you were able to dictate the tempo so completely 10 days ago. in Buffalo, you know, why couldn't you do that this game?
I would just say the difference between this game and last game, we weren't able to really get stops. And when you get stops, you know, that dictates the tempo. We were able to kind of do what we wanted to do coming out on the offensive end, but like they were getting second chance buckets, offensive rebounds, and it's hard to control the tempo when they're controlling it by getting those second chance buckets. So I think um, just them getting those second chance and keep driving us and then foul calls. So that also kind of went their way, and they used that. So I mean that was basically the difference. Just not being able to stop the drive and gang rebound enough.
And, you know, I think Eric hit all the points, but just to, you know, piggyback on that, I think, you know, if you go back to that game, one, the score, you know, the score started getting up there too high, really. That's not where we want to play it, play the game. So that obviously posed a challenge for us. But also, you know, they made some shots. You know, they were making some shots tonight. And, you know, any team that makes shots, it makes you different. So not only did they have the bounce going and the ability to attack, and then not only did they come up with key rebounds offensively, but then, of course, they were shooting the ball. And so, you know, when that happens, it makes it hard. So we never, at least in my opinion, I don't feel like we ever got into a great rhythm defensively, as well as offensively. But that, you have to credit them. That was part of the reason, is that we could never seem to corral them and get them under control. You know, we had a chance here and there, but, you know, they had some kids that made some shots and they played well. I mean, you know, you look at Connor and you look at Hamilton and you think about, you know, two young men that are coming, that are junior college kids, and the way they've played with the consistency that they have played with this year. I won't say it's unusual, but I think it's more impressive. And for those guys to, you know, stick up in this game, at this time of the year, and to pop their head up, as I say, that says a lot about them as people and who they are and their abilities.